Waarom begint die man niet? Echt te wachten op ons.
Okay. Gezondheid.
Gezondheid, gezonde zomer. Ja, ik geef hem. Dan mag hij zelf een zakje uitzoeken, dat weet ik niet. Zoetjes ook?
Zoetjes. Twee zoetjes.
Twee zoetjes?
Wat is
Nee, I don't know. Ik weet niet. Twee zoetjes zijn er?
Ja.
Twee. En nog een lepeltje? Hier. Geef me ook even jouw landstoot. Klaar is.
Okay.
Can you? Okay.
Okay. How was your Pesach?
Excellent.
Very good.
You was in Croatia?
No, he was in Greece.
In Greece?
Greece. The difference between Greece and Israel is a tzaddik. Yovon is Yud Vov Nun.
Yeah.
And Zion is tzaddik Yud Vov Nun. So the difference between Greece and Israel is a tzaddik.
Is dat het? Tzaddik? Ze klinkt al, is dat het tzaddik?
En veel zonder tzaddikim, maar het was heel bijzonder. Last year, the goy, it was a Romanian, he didn't want to sell me back the chometz. He made me, no, I want more money. Till I gave him 250 euro, he was not happy. So now this year he was also here, and I chose I will take another goy, and I took a Greek, and he was okay, and I gave him 150, and everything was okay. Matzah Chag to buy it back. It didn't make any problem.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah. Where in Greece? Where?
Near Thessaloniki.
Mm-hmm.
It was a beautiful resort. What?
Yeah, okay.
Yes, really. It was the same people from Croatia, but they decided because there was better weather and better people would be more happy.
Okay, good.
We are going now to speak about a mitzvah that we are doing now. Is mitzvah Sfiras Omer, to count the Omer. Every day during the Omer, we are counting every day. Not only we are counting every day, but we are counting also le yamim u le shavuot. We are counting the days and also the weeks. And according to Rambam, to Tosfos, to a few Rishonim, it's still nowadays a mitzvah min Torah. It's still a mitzvah from, from the Torah to count. Because in the Torah it says, "Usartem lochem v'chasar Shabbos miyom meviachem es omer atunufo." So the Rishonim who says, no, if there is no more korban, so it is a package deal. It's a part of the korban that you have to count between the korban of Pesach till the korban of Shavuos. So between the korban Omer till the korban of Shtei Alechem of Shavuos. So you count, but if you have no korban, you don't need to count. So according to most of the Rishonim, it's only a rabbinical mitzvah. Okay? Like we said already in the previous year, the Korban Omer is matir, give us the permission for the new harvest so we can eat. But now we are speaking about the counting. מפני מה פסח נקרא Shabbos? Why we need to count every, not only the days, but the week. So there is a Yalkut who says that why Pesach called Shabbos, because you know that we have a big fight with how do we call the tzdukim in the time of the Gemara. They say Mimocho asa Shabbos,
Shabbat.
Saturday. They call
The mistake of the Goyim,
yes,
the Mochata Shabbat can also be a Yom Tov.
Yom Tov, yes. So that's the Yalkut brings that it is how do you say, it is called Shabbos, and what is very interesting, it's why, because we have two different how do you say Dagen. Yes,
Rustdagen.
we have Shabbos and we have Yom Tov. And what is the big difference? What is the big difference between Shabbos and Yom Tov? Not according to what we can do and what we cannot do. Not that's the question. What's the big difference in the principle, the Shabbat and the Yom Tov?
We may.
Shabbat is
We may cook. We may
No, I didn't say. I didn't say. I'm not speaking. I say Shabbos is Zecher Lemaase Bereishis, and Yom Tov is Zecher LeYetzias Mitzrayim. Okay, so we have two Zecher. We have two different Zecher, and we see that the most general thing what is in our how do we say prayers and in our daily basis is Zeicher Liyetzias Mitzrayim. Of course, we speak sometimes of Zeicher Lemaase Bereishis, but the most important is Zeicher Liyetzias Mitzrayim. Why? Because it's the beginning of the Jewish people, of the Klal Yisrael. And what is the Klal Yisrael? En Uma Ela Torah, because we got the Torah. When we got the Torah, 50 days after that. So the Omer is a verbinding between Zeicher Liyetziat Mitzrayim till Shavuos, that we are she'amadnu tachat hahar, that we were before Berg Sinai. Yes. So that's the reason why we call it Shabbos, because it's a sort of Shabbat with a human one. What is a human one? Because at the end of the day, all the Yomim Tovim are because there are two witnesses who are going to the Sanhedrin and say, we have seen the new moon. Now it's Mekudesh. So we decide when it will be Yom Tov. If the Beis Din doesn't decide that it will be Monday, it will be Tuesday. So that means that it's our how do we say decision, our power. Yes. So the Torah called also our power Shabbos. That means that it's not less powerful than the Shabbos of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because that's the world that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has bring us to. So
I don't understand the difference.
very simple. The Shabbos, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he was working 6 days to make the world. The seventh days he didn't
Rest.
he rest. So he say, no, all the Jews has to rest on Shabbat. Okay? So that. But Yom Tov, it's all according to our history. Yes? And the Korban Omer, we didn't bring the Pesach Yetzias Mitzrayim, the Pesach of when we went out, there was no Mishkan, there was no possibility to bring a Korban. The first Korban that we have bring is a Korban Pesach. But Korban Pesach is a Korban who has not a national dimension. It has, how do you say, it's a family, every family, every group, he was bringing one korban. Okay, so that's how do we say? So from the Shabbat is holy from God, but the Yom Tov is only holy because we decided that it will be Pesach on this date, because if we don't go to the Sanhedrin to witness that we have seen the new month, so we didn't come on Monday, so they declare that Rosh Chodesh is not Tuesday. So if Pesach is next Monday in 2 weeks, it's because of the testimony of the Jews, of the people. Yes? So we could have called maybe only Yom Tov, but it's not Shabbos because it's nothing to do with God. We say, yes, it's Shabbos LaHashem. It's from God, because that's how HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted his world to function, that there will be testimony of people, and then we'll start the new month. So now we said that there is a question. Why the Rashba in his Tshuvas, he asked why we have to give two different names. Mimachoras Shabbos, so we have an indication. If we say that Shabbos is Pesach and we don't make the thought to say it's Shabbos, so it's Machoras Shabbos. And Miyom Aviachem es Omer Tznufa, but we know that they are bringing the Omer Tznufa. So why you need to bring two indication? So there is a lot of there is a lot of discussion about it, but maybe that's the machloikes, what we say, that is it depending to if you don't bring the Omer Tznufa, so you don't need to count according to that. Oh, it's Mimachas Shabbos, we have Pesach, so we have to count. Okay, so that's the discussion if it's Torah, according to the Torah or not. Okay, the Torah's Kohanim, who is the Midrash of Vayikra, because it's in Parshas Emor, so he says that there is a third indication is Sheva Shabbosos Temimois complete. What is complete? So we know, I don't have to tell you, because here people knows more than everywhere in the world, because here they have problem because time is very late. So the question is Shavuos, when do we begin Shavuos? Because according to the Shulchan Aruch, you have to begin Shavuos only when you have finished the Omer. Well, yes, why? Because it's the you achieve when you arrive. And there is a famous question: what is with someone who went to Australia, but not from France, not from Holland to Australia, but on the other side of the world? So he has lost 1 day of the Sfiras Omer. Can he make Shavuos with the community here in Amsterdam? Or he has to make Shavuos the day after? Because he didn't have now 50 days from the. So it's a question. I don't say that we halachically we paskin like this, but it's a real question. That means that
He makes Shavuos in his own time.
what?
He makes Shavuos later.
Yes. So absolutely. So because and there is no date of Shavuos in the Torah. We don't say Vov Shavuos, Vov Sivan.
No.
We say after 50 days. Yes. So it will depend only on us, only on
If
our
we
country.
go to Australia, we make sure it's earlier. Then
Yes, but he cannot.
No,
But he
you cannot.
cannot. So that's the question.
that's
But is the difference between Shavuos and Matan Torah?
Yes,
Matan Torah is one day, and Shavuos
it's
is
another day. Yes,
so
maybe so. It's
Nissan is short and Tammuz is short.
we have a problem.
different
Yes,
2 days.
absolutely, absolutely. But we are. How do we say? We are more focused on Kabbalah Torah, that we accept the Torah. So also if the date of Matan Torah is the day after, okay, we make that we are ready to get the Torah. That's the most important.
Matan Torah.
Okay, it's not a shaker. It's not a, we don't lie. It's the Zman of the Matan Torah because we are ready to get the Torah. Okay. So now about Tmimot, there is a discussion. What are we doing every day? Are we doing one part of 50 of a big mitzvah, or we are doing 50 mitzvahs?
50
How do you say, who are in a global, how do you call it, package, but it's 50 mitzvahs. And what's the difference? Difference if you have forgot one day. If you have forgot one day, so
You may not again brokers
why?
because it's not complete. I think.
Because sabal.
Yeah.
What is sabal? Sofek brochos lehakel. We don't say a brocha if we are not sure. And because there is this discussion, can we, is it a mitzvah every day or it's one mitzvah? If it's one mitzvah, like you said, I have forgot one day, finish. I cannot count more because I am out of the competition. But
Maar je hebt de counters out, Brogen.
yes, but why it's out of the brocha? Because I have a doubt. No, because
It's nothing.
no, it's not nothing.
Okay.
No. If I put my tefillin and I don't say a brocha, I have put my tefillin.
Yes.
Okay.
Use it.
So also a mitzvah is not. We need to make a brocha before a mitzvah, but a mitzvah who is done with no brocha is okay. How do you say the mitzvah is accomplished? If someone don't say a brocha from day one for the Sfiras Omer, and he counts all the days, he did the mitzvah. He didn't do what Chachomim says, because Chachomim says you have to make a brocha before. But the mitzvah he has, okay? If I...
You can make the brog of the first day and the rest
no,
don't need
if it was one mitzvah,
if
I wouldn't do, maybe I wouldn't do a brocha every day, but because it's settled as separate mitzvahs, so we according to this also don't, if we forgot, and that's why we can say it by day, because there is one sofek, if I can say it also by day. So we say, okay, so if I have to do properly by night, but because I didn't do by night and I did by day, so it's a sofek if I did right. But because of this, we say, okay, you are still in the counting. So we don't make 2 degrees back, but only 1 degree back. We say you didn't do properly today, but still you are in the counting. So that's more or less the idea. Okay? And someone who forgot really one day, and he's not counting more with broche, there is in the Achronim it says he has still to count the day that he forgot. That means he has to say, "Hi, yesterday it was 29, today is 30." Because not to have a, how do you say, a hole in the counting. So now the famous question is, what will be when Mashiach will come in middle of the Omer, and the korbanos.
Yeah, should be, but yeah.
Okay, and also
What is he
someone.
counting if he's in the middle of all?
No, what we are counting. If we get a switch, according to those who say it's the Rabbanon, are we now going to a Doraisa, according to the Torah, because now there will be a korban of Shavuos, or not, we cannot switch, because we didn't begin as a Torahic one. The same question is about a boy who has his bar mitzvah
It's in the
middle-
Omer.
in the Omer.
Yes.
So the question, what is
the problem?
what is the question? What is so there is a few answer about the question, but one of the answer is the Torah says Chanoch lanar al pi darko. We have to give education to our kids when they are little kids. That means till bar and bas mitzvah. וגם כי יסקין לא יעשו ממנו. And the purpose is that when he will get elderly and also old, he will not, how do you say, forgot the education that he got. Okay?
So what to do? What he has to do?
Continue to continue.
Or for Sivan or what?
Okay, so one second. So I am in the middle. So I say that maybe that he is continuing, but he's continue as a rabbinical one, as a child one,
Then it was,
as a child one, because for this matter, he has not the possibility to count like Chavasana, but he can still count as a child. So that means that maybe that it's still a mitzvah of chinuch, what we see after bar mitzvah also. So that's one of the. Yes, he continues with the bracha, but this bracha, according to Rambam and to all the Rishonim who think that it's only it's Mina Torah, he doesn't get a mitzvah Mina Torah this year, only next year. But he can still make, do you say, mitzvah the Rabbanan. Okay, so that's the most, how do you say, accepted thing. But there are also Rishonim who say
percentage.
what?
It's a high percentage which has this problem.
It's 10%.
Yeah.
10% because we have 50 on 600, how many days? On 30 is 365, yes, 12%. Okay. Okay, so 12% of the humanity has the problem. Okay. So now, it's can we count?
Would be your biggest problem in life.
Okay. Everything is a problem. There is no big and little problems. There is not such a thing, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is big. So everything depends on what HaKadosh Baruch Hu asks us. That means it's like a king is asking to his knecht, bring me a bottle of water or a bottle of champagne. It's not a difference because yes, the champagne is more expensive, but what he needs now is water. So that's the mitzvah who is needed. So that's exactly the thing. That means we make big mitzvahs, little mitzvahs, but that's how do you say our daily functioning. That means there are things who are more important, less important, but they are all important because it's the tzivui of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's the will of our God. So nowadays the question is why we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Why we don't count 52, 49 to Shavuos, 30 days to Shavuos, 20 days to Shavuos, 5, 4, 3, 2? one, like it is by the sport, yes, before, if the tachlis is shuas. So the answer is very simple. We are not going in this way of how do you say, in the starting blocks, that we are going to shuas. We are building up something from the Kabbalah Satorah, from the Yesiat Mitzrayim to Kabbalah Satorah, because you know that the Jews, they were not ready to go out of Mitzrayim. They were Hallelu of the Avazara, Hallelu of the Azara. They were both, how do you say, how do you say, idol, how do you call it?
But if you compare it to Hanukkah,
Yes.
one to 1 to 8, and
Yes.
one goes 8 to 1.
Okay, but that's not nothing to do, because
No.
Hanukkah, it's if we say, wow, we are going of the nest who is growing, or we say, no, how do you say, the mitzvah, you have to start, how do you say, with the biggest, because the hoidoe is the biggest on the first day. So
You cannot compare it.
no, because here it's not it's not ciphers of mitzvah. It's how do we say, the waiting of the days. So the waiting of the days, how do we say, it's normally it has to be counted in the opposite way, but we say no, because we are building, because we came out of Mitzrayim not prepared. We were a catapult. We were put out, how do you say, not with our own, how do you call it, own power. But Baruch Baruch Hu decided it is, how do you say, the minute before the end. I have to bring them out. If not now, never. So they went out. So the Chamushim or even Israel, and not everyone wanted to go out, because they were already so integrated. Also, if the human rights were not okay, but they say, okay, we want to be here. Like you see in Iran, people who are very devoted to stay under the regime of Iran. So Mitzrayim, it was not a, how do you say, a light republic. Yes, it was not democracy. I went in a taxi from Sriphol to my home, and the driver told me I'm coming from Egypt. So I said, oh, I need a courting. They say, why? I say, my forefather did all the pyramid for you. So now you need to pay. So he said, it's not true, it's not. He was very embarrassed to give me a prize courting for the thing, but I say, you have a schuld. So that's, so we went out b'chipozon. And so we have to build it every day, more and more and more. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, till we arrive to 49, and we can enter in the 50, who is already over dimension. And that's the Kabbalah Satorah, that everyone was misrape, that we say that everyone got healed. So no, of course, like everything, it's not, how do you say, an idea to say it's a Toraic or rabbinical injunctions. There are a few nafkeminas, how do you say nafkeminas, difference. Why difference? For example, if I want to count already before night. So if it's a rabbinical thing, so every rabbinical thing in every position that is a doubt, I say safek de Rabbanan lakula, so I can already count ben hashmoshes. So instead of counting like yesterday night at 9:25, I can count at 8:40 or something like this. It was the Shkia, yes. So I could count from the beginning of the Shkia. Another question is, we say Tmimois, yes? We have to have them completed. So there is in the Rishonim who says, you have also to make sure that your days are completed. It means, yes, that you do it, how do you say, first time that you can do it. Don't wait at 2 o'clock in the morning to do it. Do it straight when it's night. So you have every day a complete day. So you bring with you on the end of the counting 49 days completed, that you can enter the day 50. And the other thing is in mitzvah schiris kavona. If we say it's a rabbinical order, you don't need a kavona. That means we say to be sure that you have the idea that you are doing the mitzvah. But if it's a mitzvah Torah, if it's according to the Torah, when you put the tefillin, you have things that I'm making the mitzvah. I'm not taking the blood pressure. Yes, it's nothing to do with blood pressure. It's a tefillin, so you have to think about tefillin. So the same thing here. We are not in a mathematic lesson. Yes, but if it's only a rabbinical order, also if you didn't think and you saw that it's a mathematic lesson, it's okay. You're okay.
So you don't need any kavona.
Yes.
Hmm?
So according,
only do it.
but if it's the Raisa, you need a kavona.
Yeah, only do it.
Okay. Okay.
And older people, now that are about 2 weeks, maybe older people are in bed already at 10,
Yes,
30. They
yes.
can do it
The day after,
the day after.
in the morning, and
boys from 30 or 40, you have to go.
Okay, not only the older people, also.
So you have to wait till 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
yeah.
Tot de Midden-Europese zomertijd.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So if it's the Rabbanon, we say maybe they can count from Plaga Mincha.
yeah,
But,
okay.
but if no, normally we say they are counting the day after, when they wake up in the morning.
No problem.
But yes, a problem. What?
This broken?
No, you cannot say with a brocha. So
Don't need to broken.
But the
Only
rabbis
to
allowed from Plakaminga, then
Okay.
they say allowed.
So if it's only a rabbinical one, we say that you can. So, but because we are in the doubt, we don't do it from Plaga Mincha. Okay. So that's a very important thing, because there is someone who has sent to Stipler a letter about he's flying to Norway and how to do with the Shas Omer, with the Shabbos, the thing. So he say, okay, I will answer you, but you have to know that we see in Eretz Yisrael the Zmanim are more or less the same. That means winter, summer, 1 hour before, 2 hours after, but it's more or less in the. But so he say, we see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted us to be in Israel because Sha'ot al derech hamamutza, because there's normal time for Jewish life, and not. There was a pope who wanted to make a white day, one day will be not Monday, not Tuesday, not any day. And why he wanted to do it? Because they have a big problem, because the Pesach is by them Friday and Monday, yes, the Friday of the Pascha, and the Monday, yes, and so So they wanted that every Yom Tov should be every year on the same date. But no, because there is a day more, it's never the same day.
Yeah.
Okay, so this Pope wanted to do it. But Baruch Hashem, he didn't succeed. Because if he would succeed, I think it would be very, very difficult to live in the Netherlands. If this year it would be every Wednesday Shabbos.
Yeah.
Next year, every Tuesday Shabbos. You understand? So it would be a complicated life. It's already not so simple, so it would make it much more complicated. Okay.
But it's
So-
the same. You're in the desert and you don't know the days. Then you do your
Yeah.
count. And
Yes.
maybe the Thursday you make Shabbos.
Yes, but again, that's an expression for one man, but
Yes,
not for an whole society.
Naar je werk te gaan. Want dan was je gewoon alleen of met de
Ja, ja.
vrienden. Dat was niet het probleem.
Ja.
Nu kun je,
yes, in this time.
nu kun je in de woestijn even
Yeah.
Okay.
op de computer.
Ja.
Dan zie je het.
Absolutely. So it's very important that in the shul that there is a luach who says which day it is. That was said before, of course, before we had an app, and we can see on every time what is the right time, etc. There's a minhag Israel that when you send a letter, also it's no more common to send letters, but in the past that we were writing letters, we were putting shloishim yom lo-omer, 23 yom lo-omer, or yom ploi, yes. And it's called כך וכך למטמונים. Why למטמונים? What is matmonim? Matmonim is a treasure. Why is a treasure? It's a how do you say? It's a trick. Mat, memtes, 49, monim that we are counting. So matmonim, our treasures. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yud lematmonim. It is yud from the count of memtes. Monim, we count. So yud lematmonim. That is a treasure. 10 of the treasure. Okay. Who is in charge to count? Everyone. Everyone, not like the Yovel. The Yovel is on whom to count. Where to count the Yovel? The basin.
The 15th.
Yes, the basin, he has to declare this year is 24. You have to know that there is till 26 years for the property. So then Wall Street make the count, and they say, okay, you can buy in Israel a property with this amount because is how do we say the karka, the chont will be yours only till 26 years. But you can go to the start and pay your Erfpart. But that's not possible. There is no Erfpart possible in Israel. It was considered that every 50 years, the Erfpart is coming back to the Shvotim, to the original partage from, okay? So this the Beis Din HaGodel, he has to count, and not everyone, yes? Now the question is, can I hear accounting from someone else? And like every mitzvah from the Torah, be yotze. I don't need to, how do we say, I don't need to bench by myself. If someone is benching in front of me and I hear every word.
Say amen.
What?
Amen. I say amen. I agree with you.
Okay.
Then are you Yosef?
Okay, not sure. Not sure. Because when we are praying, so you pray, and I hear every word, shomea koine, that's okay. I can pray like this, okay? Or like you say, I can send at the end, Omen, enter. Okay. But by the Torah, it says, Usfachtem lochem. When he is counting, I am not counting. You cannot say, if he puts the tefillin, it's not my mitzvah. You understand? Shomea koine, I hear, but it's not like I have said. It's like I have prayed. So here that you say you have to count, maybe it doesn't go that someone else is counting. So we have to be very careful also to count like Chachomim said, Hayom Yom Echad L'Omer. I know it's number one, not the first. You cannot say Hayom Rishon L'Omer. Rishon L'Omer is nothing. It's not the first of the Omer. It's number one. Yes. Okay. But halachically, we paskin that Shomea Koine also for this, you can, how do you say, be yoitze from someone else. You know, people are saying Aseres B'nei Homon when they say the Megillah, so everyone is saying Aseres, yes, because the guy who says the Megillah, he has to say all the Aseres B'nei Homon B'neshimo Achas in one
Adam.
Adam, and that's not so. And so maybe that his Adam doesn't have any influence on me, so I have to Adam in once, because it's me who Shomea Koine. I'm hearing, but I be to be Yosef Adam. So that's why some people are saying it's by themselves. How do you say that? In their neshimo achas. Okay. How do we have to say the Omer? Someone told before that it's very late. Maybe I can say it in my bed. So what says the Pasuk? Why you have to stand? Because we say about the Omer, the how do you say the new harvest, bakoma. Bakoma, that when you come with a knife and you cut it, okay? So it's bakoma. So we learn from it bakima, that you have to be standing. So yes, absolutely, we have to stand for saying the Omer. Only someone who is in a wheelchair or cannot.
Something else.
That's something else. Okay? No, because there are mitzvahs that it's ma'akev. Birchas koyanim.
No,
You have
not
to,
allowed to do.
yes, you have to stand.
No, not to sit.
Yes,
Not
you
allowed.
cannot stand. But here for the Sfiras Omer is something different. Noshim, women already took upon themselves to count the Omer, but they have no obligation because it's a mitzvah ateh shazman gromer. It's a tied
Gebonden.
tied gebonden mitzvah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nowadays, there is really a good thing that we have reminders to not to forget the Omer and what?
No.
Counting the Omer is only for the men.
Yes.
According to the halacha, only for the men, but ladies already
They are
took
allowed.
upon themselves. They took upon themselves the obligation. Okay? Now we said the cotton.
In the right time, not the look. I never know.
So if someone converted in the middle of the Omer, he should continue with no brocha. Okay?
No?
No. Okay? If someone is oval in the middle, so before he's oval, he's onen, and he cannot make any mitzvahs, but he's allowed to count with no brocha in order not to how do you say?
Disrupt.
Yes. Okay, so he makes a counting who is not a mitzvah, but how do we say? But help him not to interrupt his mitzvah of Sfiras Omer for the other days.
En when he zit shiva and he's
Yes, sure,
yes,
sure.
with the brocha or
Yeah, with the bracha, that's what I say. He didn't lose the bracha.
Look at the time. No, it's the grandson. Oh.
So we said that we are counting by night. There is a few different minhagim. By Chassidim, there are shuls who are counting after Oleinu. In our communities, we count before Oleinu. Okay? Before Oleinu. Okay?
Why?
What?
After Lenny,
Everyone is out.
Go out, go away.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. If I'm coming to shul, and I like Mr. Jacob says before that some people are straight away going out. So the question was asked, maybe when I am arriving to shul, not to forget, because I am running out when it's end, that's not to forget, so to say it before. So we have the principle of tadir v'shenot tadir, tadir kodem, that if we have two mitzvahs, we have to do the one who is a daily one before the one who is an exception. So we have to daven before. But there are certain allowance who says that if you are so nervous that you will forget at the end, and it's really, it takes less than 1 minute, you can make the Omer also before Mariv. Okay? Who doesn't go for Mariv in Shul has to be careful not to forget.
Nou, hier, I know Bismillah make this night, but Kachidim make supper time.
Yeah.
Then you have to count later. At home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yes. Yes. There is a few patents, but I will not enter in this discussion because, of course, it was a major question in the past that people would forget. So maybe it's better to count already before. But okay. But nowadays we are more. How do we say? We trust more that people don't forget. It's yes something very important to count barabim together. I remember I grew in Strasbourg, and in Strasbourg was but it was in all Alsace like this. That normally we didn't daven by night.
No.
It was like here in all the summer with the Plaga Mincha Mariv. But the Omer Shul, it was called Omer Shul. It was Mincha, and then Predikatsi von der Rabbein, 20 minutes, I don't remember, Shir. And then straight when it was night, we had Ma'ariv with a counting. I remember very good when I was young. It was very famous, also in the villages in Alsace. Okay, so another thing we have to discuss before we end, I wanted to say it. Motzei Shabbos, Motzei Yom Tov. Also we count after V'yi Noam. Here it's before V'yiten Lecho, and in the other communities don't say V'yiten Lecho. It's still before Oleinu. When we say, how do you say Havdalah? also we count before
Before
half dollar.
dollar, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Squire. No, we got it. Okay, next time. If you,
Wow.
I have to.
Impossible with Mr.
Impossible, bye.
With Mr. Jacobs.
No, that's
Doesn't-
impossible. I have two options.
Yes.
Or 18 May or 8th of June, of after 8th of June. Dus you can choose or 18 May. That is, I think, for Schwungers. Yes.
8th of June is excellent.
8th of June?
Yes.
Okay.
11.
11, I do. Excellent. Let's see. Oh. Okay. One moment. No, just don't. Mm.
11. 1 hour.
8, 9, 11. 11, huh?
Yes.
You want 11, yes. Okay,
Done.
excellent. That's very good.
Oké, tot volgende keer.
Thank you very much.
Square, thank you very much.
All the best.
Wacht eventjes zetten.
Dan weten we het.
Ja, weet het van de Omer tellen. Het is